Us, and people like me, demographics don't really matter. The way I relate to people online and the way I connect with them is not necessarily because they live next door to me, or we have the same income, or because we're the same gender. It's the fact that we are kind of sharing the same interests. So I want to talk to you a little bit about this concept of people online called Gen C. And Gen C is a little bit different and a little bit of an interesting concept, but it should make pretty simple sense. The C in Generation C can stand for many things. And those top three ones there, I suppose, are the key. When we're talking about Gen C, we're talking about the people that build and consume and connect with the internet. And so we're the people that love content, we're creative, and we're creators. We're the people putting up the Facebook tags. We're the people uploading stuff to YouTube. We're the people putting tweets out there. Generation C is a kind of army of people that build and shape and engage on the web. So we're all about creating stuff. We love to co-produce. We love sharing stuff with people. We like getting other people involved and like sharing and creating together. We've got a strong sense of community. We form forums, we form little groups, and we kind of talk with each other about our common interests. We customize. We're the ones that have the iPhones that are customized to have these exclusive apps that we love and things like this. We love to collaborate. We share with each other. I put Control-C, Control-V. We love copy-pasting. We like mashing up. We like taking video from other people, recombining it in a new way and producing a whole new piece of content. We're heavily connected, and again, we love cat videos, and apologies for that, but we share them constantly. I've kind of broken it down to four basic things that I think us Gen C folk value highly. And the first is speed. And speed at the compromise of quality. We'd rather know things now in very simple detail rather than hearing about it in essay form tomorrow. So speed is very important to us. We have a saying down at Radical Love which is called faster than the speed of like, which means we sort of have to know about it right now before it's even happened pretty much. So speed is very, very important. So when you're thinking about how you're going to adapt to the new world, or when you're looking at ways in which your publications can engage with Gen C people, think about how you're going to get that stuff out there very quickly. It's not good enough to be putting news out there tomorrow or stuff out there when it could be put out even sooner today. There's the hurdles there, I suppose, of people, time, and costs, of course, but it's something if you can win it and if you can get good speed, you'll win the Gen C crowd. Mobility is the second one, and that's something that's going to get even more popular, I think, as time goes on. We love consuming stuff on mobile platforms. As smartphones take over the world and just that mobile kind of lifestyle of being able to engage in news content, not when I'm next to a news agency or not when I'm just at home on a desktop, but on my phone, when I'm on the bus. I want to be able to get the news right now. And we're willing to get that mobility at the cost of function. I'd rather be able to send an email from the bus, even if I can't put it in full HTML formatting. That ability to just send and share on the move is something that's very important to us, something we love, and something that you guys, if you can build it into your websites or mobility kind of ideas like applications and things like that, it's definitely something worth considering. Global more than local. This one's a bit of a fuzzy one, but I thought I'd throw it in there because I had really nice formatting, so I thought I'd keep it going in that sense. We are a very globalized people. We love knowing what's going on around the world, and we like to think that our platform by which we're sharing our information is not simply limited to our local communities. When we are saying and expressing our ideas and our thoughts, and when we're sharing information, we expect that to be a global platform, unbounded, where we can share all our information. And similarly, we like to think that we can get influence and ideas and thoughts and news from a global perspective without being kind of tethered just to the local market. That said, I think there is also an argument that local is very important, and even on a similar level as important as global. Knowing exactly what's happening next door to me on a hyper-local level is something that is definitely something that Gen C people are engaged with and love and want more of. So that point's a little bit fuzzy, but hopefully you get the point that both global and local are both very important, and you should really consider that when you're moving forward. And sharing. We share. We don't like to own, and I think this is a problem that a lot of people have, especially businesses, have had a problem wrestling over, especially we saw it in the music industry, the idea that we just love to share. We don't want to be caught up by kind of digital rights management, and you can't send this or watch this beyond the bounds of Australian ISPs and things like this. We want to be free to share with anyone at any time, anywhere. So Sharing is something that we all love. We don't necessarily want to own stuff. We will make stuff and put it up for free and just find joy in letting other people see it and that thrill that comes from letting people share our stuff. I mean, you have to embrace piracy and sharing. It's no good trying to gate all this stuff and try and think up mechanisms by which stuff can't get out there. It just frustrates us as Gen Z people. We love being able to share stuff, so don't make it hard for us, because we'll find a way. You can't stop us. We know how to switch codecs. There's plenty of dark nets that we can tap our way into, and people will share stuff no matter what. So instead of trying to fight that, try to go with it and think of ways to move forward. We love short stuff like Beach Daz. We made it intentionally a minute long. It's not long form animation. It's very quick. You can share it quickly. And it's conversation sparking, thinking up stuff that, it's Kiwis. We all love to laugh at Kiwis. Of course it's going to do well. So think of ways to spark conversation, because conversation is very important. The YouTube video does well, but what makes it have longevity and real interest is the comments underneath. So look for conversation sparking stuff. Embracing the future. I mean, we had a TV offer, but we didn't stop it there. We moved it to applications. We move it to live shows. We move it to now stuff with the Rugby World Cup. There's kind of always new platforms being developed, and this is the nature of technology. So don't ever think like you've got it and you've worked it out and this is the road to eternal future profitable success. Digital is constantly evolving, so always be on the lookout for new technologies and always be kind of looking around you and think of how can I adapt what I have to these new technologies. Embracing your community, that's something that I think the print industry does very well already. I think you guys have kind of done some great stuff in the community nature, given the industry in which you're in. But I suppose what technology we have now is not just to kind of tell people what's happening and report the news or any of that sort of stuff, but you can actually listen back and get your kind of audience and your communities to tell you the stories that they're interested in hearing about, relate back to them, comment back, extend the articles beyond the 400 words that you've written out for that day. Articles can have a longevity and a engagement with the audiences that are reading them. And that will just lead to advocacy and people loving that. People love, expressing an opinion and getting an opinion back. And so listen, engage, shout, and reward. And finally, probably not as poignant to you, but look for opportunity, and seize that stuff. And don't be afraid to try new things either. It's not a case of getting it right. You'll never get it 100% right off the bat. So I think the nature of digital technology is you've just got to try it all, see what hits, what sticks, go with it, and understand why. What doesn't, that's fine. Failure is 90% of the digital industry.